Focus. Focus up. I'm talking to you, Luba, Jennifer, and Vlad out in Virginia. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the Rubio Method, episode 19. My name is Chris Rubio, along with Nicholas. I'll still go professional for you, Monaghan. Nicholas Monaghan out in Colorado. We have a great show for you today. Here's what we're going to be covering on the Rubio Method: crying at a movie, dealing with death, experiences on a plane, donuts, and yoga and construction workers. All of that and much more on the Rubio Method. Christian, I'm out. Focus. Focus up. I'm talking to you, Sheila, out in Alberta, with your fantastic accent and phenomenal drive. You are a true go-getter. Monaghan, give me a minute with Monaghan.
All right, here we go. I've got a good one today. I think they're all good, but we've got an extra good one today because we're heading into the holiday season. And with the holiday season comes a lot of stress. So we're talking about 5 things that you could do to reduce stress in the holiday season. Number 1, prioritize your favorite activities. Make sure you're making time to do the things you love to do. Number 2 is make a shopping list, right? Let's not stress of what we're going to get, right before the big meal, right? Let's go ahead and make that shopping list, as well as that list that you need for everybody and their gifts. Number 3 is set boundaries. This is the hardest one because we love our families. We love them to death, but there needs to be some sort of boundaries. Can't just have them all day long, 25/7, or you'll be upset. Number 4 is create new traditions, man, especially if you got a young family or you're looking to do something different this year. Have some fun, spice it up, switch it up, make those new traditions. And last but not least, give yourself some time. Yes, give yourself all the time you need to get everything you need done, as well as time for yourself. Rubio?
Monaghan, I got to know, what holiday guy are you? Are you like the guy that we just had Halloween? Are you Christmas decoration guy right now? Or are you going Thanksgiving mode right now?
Okay, so this is a great question because my wife November 1st might as well be December 25th. She is Christmas right away. I have respect for Turkey Tom. I'm a thick boy. I like to eat, and so Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. So I like to hold off as much as possible. I already know what kind of guy you are, Rubio.
Thanksgiving is trash. Thanksgiving is trash. The turkey is trash. No, here's my theory on Thanksgiving and the turkey food. We're branching off a little, Christian. Just let me go over this for a second here. If turkey was so great, you would order it like several times a month when you go to a restaurant. No one orders it because it's trash. That's all I got to say about that. It's terrible. It's just not a good thing. There's no flavor to any of it. And yes, I've had good turkey. My wife's a fantastic cook and all that. It's just not a good meal. The best part about it is a roll that you buy. And if you're lucky enough to buy like the Hawaiian rolls and throw some butter on those bad dogs, that really spices it up. Now you got me all fired up, Monaghan.
Wow. I'm surprised at you, Rubio. I am.
Thanksgiving. Monaghan, website questions. Talk to me.
All right, here we go. This was from Harvey in Scottsdale. He asks, when was the last time you cried while watching a movie?
Monaghan, I'm going to take this one first. You know me. And right now it's my prime season. It's Hallmark season, people. That means the last time I cried at a movie was probably within 24 hours. I've just got it locked in. I think Hallmark came out with, I'm not going to say that I looked it up, but I think I looked it up. It's like 42 new Hallmark Christmas movies, and I'm all about it. So the last time I cried at a movie, probably within 24 hours. I love them. I don't care. Monaghan, you?
Yeah, I was trying to think about this. I have a hard time remembering because, dude, Rubio, I'm a crier too. So, like, I feel like name a weekday and that was it. So I had a hard time remembering it. But I definitely cried the other day watching Saving Private Ryan. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But just thinking about the end when he said, earn this. And I'm like, man.
Oh, Jesus. Why would you bring that up, man? You got to try to get me to break down right here.
It's tough in these streets, man. So that was probably the last time I cried. All right. Number 2, Helen in Dallas, Texas says, I recently lost a loved one, and I was wondering if you guys had any advice for handling my emotions through the process. I'm going to snag this one first because it's not easy, especially when you experience death. It is, you ride the waves. Like some days are better than others, and some days you're just like you have a hard time even getting out of bed. So my suggestion is lean into those emotions, lean into the way you're feeling. It's natural, it's normal, and just let the process take place. There's no real way to like step around the grieving process. Let it take place and understand that those emotions are normal, and then also reach out to somebody, reach out to a friend, a family member.
Mhm.
Really don't handle that burden on your own. Rubio, do you got anything?
Yeah. Obviously I'm getting towards the age where I'm starting to get, more relatives and, friends, parents and dying and all that good stuff. My only bit of advice I always have is always try to look back at the positives. If someone has lived a good life and they've hit several decades, I always say, okay, let's look at the positive. It was great to have them here. I love the memories that I have. And nowadays, you always have videos and pictures and all that good stuff. Usually, so you always have the memories and the voices and the videos and the pictures and, well, just the memories. But I'm more of the just, I get more upset. Obviously, I get sad, but I get more upset thinking about like when my grandmother passed away, that my youngest son won't be able to experience what she was about. And that kind of, it bums me out. But I'm more of a just, let's look at the positives, try to always think of all the great moments that you had with that particular person.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Love that. Last question. Gabe in San Francisco says several people have asked you guys about flying. So I had to know, what is the most interesting experiences you've had while flying? I'm gonna snag this first because this was wild. Okay, so this was back in 2018. Was it? No, 2017. I was photographing with Mizzou Wrestling, and we were flying to the NCAAs, the national championship, and we had a layover in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going down, easy does it, like, hey, daddy's getting ready to take her on home. Let's go, baby. And we're getting down, and all of a sudden, and we like pull back up, and Cuzzy's in and out, right? And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was, like ready to land, like I was ready to go. And the guy
Mhm.
comes over the intercom, the pilot. And first off, every time it sounds like the pilot is just so it feels like every single time I'm trying to talk to you, it's like that. But he said that when we were about to land, the airport control sent another plane to cross the runway in front of us. And so we were about to land on another plane about to land in front of us, and we had to divert and get out of the way. That was the scariest, most interesting time I've ever had.
That's a great one. I've actually had that happen to me before, but that's not even top five for me, Monahan. Okay, so
Oh,
I fly a lot. I fly a lot. Here's one of my most interesting, fun, basically things that got me. All right, so I'm flying back from Louisiana one time, and I'm in the back row. So I'm pissed off because I'm right next to the crapper. That's number one. And number two, you can't recline at all, which I usually don't, but this one's not even an option. And you're sitting, like you're in the army.
yeah, your back's against
And
the
I
wall.
remember it was three seats. I got the middle seat, which this is a massive loss for me because I didn't book the flight, someone else did. So right now I'm pissed. Against the window, I still remember there was like this 8 or 9 year old girl, and she had the world's largest laptop I've ever seen. And I don't know if it was just like a 97-inch laptop or she was just teeny tiny, but I remember it was so bizarre because it took up the entire tray. It was massive. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is weird. She's flying alone. She's 8 years old. There's no one accompanying her, and she's got the world's biggest laptop. And then I kind of glance over, and she's watching Kill Bill Volume 1 or Volume 2, whichever one is like all hell's breaking loose. And so I'm looking over, and I'm like, that's a lot of action and gore happening for this 8 year old with his projector screen on her lap. And so plane's about to close. I'm trying not to lean into her because I'm not a weirdo. And I'm sort of leaning this way, and I have an empty seat next to me. The door's about to close. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I get to pull up arm, get to lean over. I don't have to watch Kill Bill Volume 7. And all of a sudden, shutting the door, boom, someone stops the door. And I'm like, oh, good God, no. Because I'm looking around, immediately doing that scan, like who else? Any empty seats? Any empty seats? No empty seats. And bless this guy's heart. This guy comes in. He's, I'll go 5'5", 5'6", 450, 460, and he's
Rolling ball.
rolling down the walk, or what's it called, the hallway. What is that? The
I don't
walkway.
know. Walkway,
And I'm like,
walkway.
oh no, God. They walk away, and I'm looking. Please God, there's got to be another seat, and sure as hell no. He comes, sits down next to me, and the armrest is down, and he just boom goes into the seat and like takes me out a little. So I'm pushed up next to the Quentin Tarantino daughter over here, and he's leaning onto me. And I mean, we're coming to Louisiana July, and so he's got sweat coming off every single thing, and he's literally wedged in with the armrest. He's got body parts touching me, and I'm not a small petite human being, man. And I'm leaning like this, and finally I tell him, I go, hey man, you want me to lift up the armrest so just like the rest of you can just ooze into me? And he's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, hey man, you get that thing removed from your rib. And so we only went it was like Louisiana to Houston. So it was like a 45-minute flight, but that's my one interesting story. I've got 100 more, but we'll talk about those more maybe next show. Christian, I'm out.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Brandon, as you're watching while creating your fantasy football roster. I appreciate you doing that. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, rubiomethod.com. You can always email Rubio at the Rubio Method, and of course, ngbn.tv. All right, segment 3, we have a phenomenal guests. We've got 2 fantastic ladies. I'm going to try to get their names out. I'm usually not this good. Sarah Warhaftig. It's just one word. I just put it in like 3 different ones. And Erin Mariani. Welcome. You guys I'm just happy to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us, Chris. We're excited.
Fantastic. All right. What have you guys done? Let me give you their quick bios. They've created wellness tools for the trade. Wellness tools for the trade. Yes, we're going to talk about that a lot. They go around and teach classes that normalize the benefit of wellness and taking care of yourself in the construction industry. And they have been doing this for 4 years and are absolutely crushing it. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to give you 3 quick questions, one at a time, just to kind of break the ice here. Number 1, we'll start with you, Sarah. Name one movie that you have seen at least 10 times.
Up.
Oh, that's a good one. That makes me cry. That's such a sad movie. You see that movie and it comes out so sad right out of the gate. Ooh.
It's like the story of my grandparents. That's why I love it. So like, that's my grandparents, but I love it.
But just the happiness part, not like the flying in a balloon.
No, not necessarily. No, they didn't venture that far, but yeah.
All right. I like it. Erin, what about you? What's one movie you've seen more than 10 times?
One summer I watched Wayne's World with my sister, maybe every day of that summer. So
I'm okay with that. Erin, we're going to start with you on this next one. Name one country you want to visit but haven't, and why haven't you?
Greece is up there, and I don't have a good reason why. It just hasn't happened yet. So it'll be a goal for next year, maybe.
I got you. Sarah, same question.
Colombia, and it's just hot on my list, and I just haven't done enough research on it yet. But I am going to South America in December, a different country, so maybe I'll have an opportunity to get the vibe down there.
All right, I like that. And third and final question, Sarah, we'll start with you. What is your favorite donut, and how many could you eat in one setting?
I say I don't eat donuts, but I love a good classic glazed donuts. At least 2. I probably could eat more, but I feel 2 is a safe number. Like you can't just have 1, 2. I think at least you're hitting your caloric intake. But classic glazed.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Erin, same question.
Okay, so on Sundays it used to be tradition to go grab donuts after church, and Bavarian cream. It's like powdered, but instead of Boston cream that has the chocolate on top, it's powdered sugar on the outside and then cream on the inside. I haven't had a donut in a long time. I probably would eat one.
I mean, I'm just trying to experience that taste in my mouth right now. So you'd have the dryness of the powder, and then you have the juiciness of the cream inside. So that's a good combo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my favorite. And then I also got down with, I think it was just called vanilla. I want to call it vanilla icing because it was literally just vanilla icing inside a donut. Also love that. I'm
I'm
icing
so
person.
in for that.
Yeah, I was
There's
more icing than cake.
one of my cravings in life is kids cake frosting. I love that. Why have they not made that an ice cream flavor, for the love of God? They need to. All right. How did you two guys get going with wellness tools for the trade? Sarah, you start.
Yeah. So 4 years ago, I was asked, someone came up to me and said, hey, yoga and mindfulness. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they said, create a class to teach in the construction industry. And I kind of was like, kind of puzzled by that. And 4 years later, here we are teaching wellness tools for the trades. I was lucky enough. I knew I needed an awesome partner. And through a mutual friend, I met Erin, who was still living up in Northern California at the time. And we spent a couple of months really developing a curriculum that focuses around wellness, as you said, in the construction industry, right? We know the statistics of the construction industry around suicide, general, laborious type of work. And so we focus on mental health first aid, suicide prevention, mindfulness. Erin does an incredible job around stress management tools and techniques. We teach a full yoga class, right? First couple classes, these guys came in their hard hats, their boots, their jeans, their vests. So if you can imagine, quite an experience for them. We've progressed to allowing them now coming into comfortable clothing. And we started with District Council 16 in Northern California, tapers, painters, and glazers and the allied trades. And we've been teaching within their professional development program and love it. We love them. We love their members. And we are continuing to teach. We just got added for 4 more times in the next quarter.
So Erin, Sarah contacts you and says, hey, so I'm doing this yoga type thing and wellness for construction workers. Did you say, put the booze down and let's talk? Or what did you say? That doesn't seem like a normal intro.
No, I think the person who connected us knew my background and knew when Sarah, actually, this person, Lauren, told me recently, we all got together recently and the story was you two on the plane and you were explaining to her the idea. And she was like, I need to connect you with Erin. And so, yes, I had already had a background in yoga. I had been working in primary care and in wellness for years. I have a background in counseling. And so a lot of the work I was doing, wellness was reaching a lot of tech companies, like these benefits included, which I was working with some of those people, and where I'm always going to spread the idea of wellness for everyone. When Sarah approached me about this idea, I'm like, construction workers are not getting these tools. And I know that they need them probably the most. And my own personal experience, I grew up in small town, Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And I grew up with a lot of family members in construction and kind of saw people not really taking care of themselves and back issues or maybe drinking beer like water. I'm not saying beer's not okay once in a while. But I really thought, wow, my uncle could have really benefited from just learning a bit more about his health, about behaviors. And so it was a very obvious hell yes to me when Sarah approached me, and then super exciting to design the class. And it's been great. It's been really rewarding.
Okay, so explain. I'm getting the visual of. Are you guys going to their workplace? Like, where are these classes? Are they literally they're done with their hammer? They put it in their little holster thing. I'm not a tool guy, so I don't know any of these. I'm more of a sports guy and a talking guy. Obviously, they just putting their hard hat on and they're walking into the cafeteria. Or how does the class go, Sarah? What happens here?
Yeah, no, we're not on job sites yet, but that would definitely be an interesting venture if we get there. So within District Council 16, they have what's called the STAR program. So think of professional development for construction workers.
Okay, hold on, Sarah. What is? I don't understand the construction term. What is District Council 16? What does that mean?
Right. District Council 16 is the organization that oversees all of the local unions in Northern California.
There we go. Okay. So now I got it.
They're the overarching organization, and then under there falls all the local unions. But painters, tapers, and glazers are part of these specific unions. So District Council 16 has a STAR program that offers classes, like professional development type classes, to members so they can better their craft, right? So you think, I'm an educator, so going to professional development to be a better teacher, these members go in and we see classes like welding or booms and lifts, right? And thinking about, putting up drywall. Those are types of classes. And there we are in our little classroom of wellness. So it's on a Saturday morning. All these classes are offered. They're incentivized to go, one, to better their craft. Two, the big thing is there's a large picnic that they give away trucks and ATVs and all sorts of great large prizes. So if members go to enough classes, get enough credits, they get entered into this amazing raffle. So when we first started teaching, we'd ask, people why they came to our class, and they would say, get in the raffle. Like, who doesn't want to win a brand new GMC truck? So, but class starts sharp 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Jesus. Like we're rolling at 6 a.m. because that's their traditional day. Their day starts at, their day starts at 4 a.m. They're driving 2 hours to the job site. So we teach a 6 to 7 hour comprehensive class. We cover all the topics I shared earlier. We have a lot of fun. We're delivering a lot of, serious information around suicide, around mental health. But in the end, we're building a community. And by the end of the 6 and 7 hours, we're connected. We've had people cry. We've had people share really deep and, their own personal struggles. But yeah, we keep a really nice community going.
Okay. So Erin, this question's for you. Sarah, I want you to jump in as well. In my head right now, I'm picturing construction workers, complete opposite of me. Okay. Someone who's really, rough around the edges with their hands. I mean, they've got the callus and they're strong and they know how to handle tools. They're manly men. They're masculine. They're doing this. I walk into this class and I see two very feminine women. How do you guys handle that aspect? Because if I'm a construction guy and I walk in and I see two womanly women, I'd be like, first of all, the wellness tools of the trade, I would be like, what the hell is this? I do want to win that GMC. But then I see two lovely ladies. How do you guys get over that? How do you cross that bridge?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think part of it is, we start with giving a little background about ourselves. And for me, I have personal experience with construction workers. And so they get that. We also curse in the class, like we're real with them. We're like, listen, we know, well, I'm not going to curse on here. I don't know if I can curse, but we're just freaking real with them. And we're like, we're not here. And, for example, we talk about meditation. I'm not saying, okay, everyone, let's get magically whisked away and let's all sit. No, I'm like, this is actually real shit that can help you. And there's evidence around it. And we want you to get something out of this class. So you might as well just try this and then you can judge it later. So we're real with them. And my jersey comes out, I think.
It's starting to ooze right now.
Yeah. Sorry. The hands.
No, I'm in.
So I think that's part of it. We tell real stories and then we give space for other older members of the trade to share. Damn, I really wish I would have had this class because I have not been taking care of myself for the last 20 years and my body's suffering. So not only do we bridge that gap with just being real with them, we give the space for some of the older, wiser people in the class to share some of their stories.
Because in construction, you miss a day, you miss a paycheck. I mean, it's not one of those things where, hey, I'm on salary, just I'm going to go take a month off because I hurt my back. Keep going. Sarah, would you agree? Is that the easiest way you guys just basically you come in dropping a couple of F-bombs and you're going and everyone's kind of happy? Is that how you guys cross that bridge?
Yeah, I started a counter with Erin because it was just kind of like picking up, and I started my personal counter how many F-bombs she would drop before like 6:30 a.m., right? Because I started at 6 a.m. and I'm from Jersey too. So yeah, I think Erin's dead on. And I remember 4 years ago, I brought Erin into this, and I remember that first class. I was nervous anyways because, hey, anything new, you're a teacher. I mean, I've taught for 20 years, right? You get up in front of a group of people, but those are little people. So I'm thinking about teaching adults, and I was so scared we were just going to get booed off the stage. And I was more nervous for Erin because I made her come do this with me. But yeah, we're real. And like I said earlier, I mean, we play games with this. A little insight: Erin loves improv. She does improv for her hobby. So we actually do like a whose line is it anyways? Like break. We play games, like silly games, like we would play with kids. But yeah, to Erin's point, it's real. we're letting them try it on. Like, again, we don't, we tell them just judge it later, try it. It's, it's meant to just be supportive. And the goal is at the end, like, can they take away one thing? I mean, that's a win. Can they take away one thing? Maybe they're going to a yoga class now. Maybe they're trying the square breath when they're, in a stressful moment on the job site with family. So yeah, just be real.
Okay. So you brought up like, whose line is it anyway in games? And that kind of leads me to my next question. Being a teacher, I was a middle school teacher for 8 years. You guys are big into the education world. What is one trick that you can give the audience right now that you have it in your holster? So say some guy's being super stubborn and you're like, okay, I'm going to pull out this trick because I know it will work on this guy, whether it's a breathing technique, whether it's a stretching technique, whether it's a whose line is it anyway game trick. Do you guys have, either one of you have a trick that always works?
Oh, I mean, I have the mean teacher stare down pretty good. Like I can read a room really well and just kind of like glance over and be like, you need to shut up. But I think redirecting it at them, if there's some like, sometimes we have to shut down some like, crap and some banter back and forth. But if you kind of turn it on them and give them like the ownership of like, hey, actually, I need you to do this. That's always what I go to, right? People are seeking attention when they do something out of behavior. I think of all my kids that I work with, my high school kids, my middle school kids, like, when they do silly crap, they're looking for something. So give them something back, some positive reinforcement. But
and so Erin, how do you handle when you're not greeted with open arms? Because I would say probably in my mind, I'm thinking probably 30% are going in with, yeah, this is going to be fun, let's do it. And 70% are coming in, they look like the two old guys on the Muppet balcony.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite of what you just said.
Really?
Yeah, it's real. And honestly, I would say 90% are coming in with open arms.
Really?
And perhaps part of this is because they know they're getting credit for this class, and they're using this credit to go to this picnic. So I'm not saying that might not be part of it. Like, I'm going to kind of come in and not be grouch because I'm choosing to do this, and it's related to something I want to do. So honestly, they're really open to all of this.
That's good to know.
We have guys talking about like, we're expected to be tough all the time, but we want to talk about our feelings. So I've been pleasantly surprised. My assumption would have been similar to yours, and Sarah's was too, because she was scared to bring me in. But it really hasn't been that.
Okay. Next obvious question here is, this obviously is working with construction workers. Can you guys see this expanding to other male-dominated workforces? Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think to Erin's point earlier in talking about wellness is so accessible to all the big tech companies, places that are just, go sit in the meditation room for a while or take 10 days off to, meditate. So I think, yes. And with construction, we love this, demographic. We love this kind of niche demographic. But we've, explored a little bit of industries, maybe not necessarily always male dominated, but industries that don't always have access to these types of tools. So I think we have a lot of members. I think we have a lot of people in the trades, in constructions that we haven't even gotten to touch yet. So I feel like we can go with this for a very long time, but we're excited to bring these tools and this incredible class to demographics that truly need it. So to your point, yes, I think we can always think outside the box.
So Erin, are you guys are based in NorCal. What the first 4 years have been obviously phenomenal. Where do you guys see this going in the next 4 years? Expanding out of NorCal, going to SoCal, going to other states? Tell me your 4-year plan.
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. Southern California is somewhere we'd like to go. I'm in Southern California. Sarah's in Northern. So Southern California would be a next place we'd like to focus on. And then the bigger dream, the bigger vision is to have this functioning in different states, to teach people how to teach this, to have this all over the country. And so that's the bigger dream.
Okay. Sarah, where can they find out more information on you guys?
Yeah, we have a website, wellnesstoolsforthetrades.com. But I'm going to drive people to our Instagram handle, which is also just Wellness Tools for the Trades. We like to post updates. We're trying to do a better job of giving some tips and tools of how to take care of yourself. And especially like you guys talked about earlier, as the holiday season approaches, it's a lot of stress, a lot of things happening. So follow us. And if you're interested in getting, send us an email or direct message us, and we'd love to chat more about what we do.
Perfect. Sarah, Erin, thank you guys so much for coming out. Once again, that's wellnesstoolsforthetrade.com. And then on the Instagram, it's Wellness Tools for the Trades or Trade?
Trades.
Both trades.
Both trades. Okay, I didn't want to clear that up. Thanks. Thank you guys so much. Christian, I'm out.
Military families often sacrifice precious time away from loved ones while serving our country.
We were worried that with him leaving, that she would lose those connections with her dad.
Some of life's best moments happen between parents, children, and the pages of a good book. United Through Reading provides that connection. And now, United Through Reading is also available to veterans. Learn more about United Through Reading at unitedthroughreading.org.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Chris Fontana of GoPrimalUSA.com. He's got some great clothing apparel out there. And make sure when you go check out GoPrimalUSA.com, you enter the code Rubio10 and you'll get a nice little discount. Welcome back to the Rubio Method. Make sure you check us out on ngbn.tv, therubiomethod.com. You can always email us, rubio@therubiomethod.com, and always YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon. It's time for the bottom line. For all the new listeners and watchers, the bottom line is the final segment, and it's all basically stuff you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Number 1, try as hard as you can to remember the past positives instead of the future negatives. This goes right along with the question about death. Try as hard as you can to remember all the good times you had with that person, and just don't focus on all the future negatives. Think of all the great times you had in the past. Number 2, don't count your chickens before they are hatched. This goes right along with my epic flight where I had Quentin Tarantino's daughter with the projector to my right and the bowling ball coming down the walkway to my left. I thought I was home free, and then he came in. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And number 3, if you think you are too macho to fix your mind and body, you have more problems than you even know. That's exactly what Sarah and Erin were talking about. That's why their audience of construction workers, big, burly, strong guys, are so open to them. Remember, she said, 90% are open to coming to this class? Because they know it's going to make themselves better. You can't make other people better until you make yourself better. All right, that's a wrap for episode 19 of the Rubio Method. Make sure you check us out at therubiomethod.com. Obviously, YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. Episode 19 is a wrap. Christian, I'm out.